My most memorable dream was to live in a dark fantasy world, fighting demons, dragons with styrofoam swords.
I dreamt that I was in Gotham City, and then I was like, I can't remember. I think I was either Batman or I was his assistant.
And I started running away, and like the owner of the school threw a shoe at me, and I found a skateboard and started skateboarding away. And then there was like a flying baby in a baby carriage right next to me.
I reached the end of the hallway, and the end of the hallway was actually the end of a cliff, and the darkness pushed me in.
I've been watching a lot of the Harry Potter movies, and my dream was that I went on a date with a Dementor, and like we just kind of like walked around, we went shopping, and like they carried my bags for me. It was very enjoyable, surprisingly enjoyable.
When I was a kid, I was the only kid in my grade that had an imaginary friend, and his name was Henry. And he was the coolest person you'll never meet.
My imaginary friend were like 6 inches tall and looks like a little bunny, but black and red.
So it was like a little gorilla that fit on my shoulder. He had a Snow White hat, and he was gray in the face and black fur, and he wore a really nice spiffy purple suit.
My imaginary friend and I had a happy kidnapping. Watermelons.
I didn't have an imaginary friend. I had a dog. My dog is from the future.
I will create a dubstep action adventure, something that everybody wants to have but nobody wants to create.
Well, if I was playing Mario, I suppose I'd jump on things and break bricks with my bare fist.
Well, he doesn't really talk. He used like high-pitched yells throughout the whole game. Yeah!
He had the ability to fly and shapeshift. He could be a little kid, a science teacher on a plane, or a yak.
My worst nightmare was when I was eaten by a shark. Like really fresh clam chowder.
And then the guy with like the chainsaw, he looked at me and he said, "You're next." And I woke up. It was a really bad dream.
My worst nightmare was that I was chasing by a bunch of zombies and they tried to eat me.
I guess my worst nightmare was about zombies. They were like moving around. I was trying to hide away from them or something and somehow remain undetected.
Well, one day when I was dreaming about a bunch of zombies that appeared right out of my house, like, how to describe the feeling, like, it was fun, but at the same time, terrific.
I look down and I see my brother being surrounded by some wild, hungry dogs.
And so we were running from what I didn't know at the moment, but I found out later, was my son, who was part leprechaun and part dragon human.
I never believed in imaginary friends because I always had friends in my opinion.
Billy Bob Jane Joe Mary had big fluffy hair and he slid down a waterfall with me and my friends on grass.
Because it was like posable and it had my favorite heroes and characters from all the good cartoon shows back in the day.
She was very similar to me. She was very playful, funny, can be very aggressive sometimes. And we just like talked about things when I was upset. And that's about it.
I think I named him like Tony or something. And me and him used to like just sit down and watch cartoons on TV and talk about shoes and clothing.